Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program Marriage Keys. My name is Jeffrey Mbede Ardiku, and today I'll be, sitting for Jackie Adebija, who's under the weather at this particular moment. And Marriage Keys, of course, as the name implies, is a show that to do with marriage and things that to do with family and the rest of it. And as usual, we have our guest in the studios here. But before then, let me quickly talk about what we have to discuss today. Today, we'll be taking a look at a united family. Yes, a whole lot of people know what a family is. And if you call the word united family, of course, a whole lot of people understand, or probably they know what a united family is, but they really know what it entails. So today we'll be taking a critical look on a united family. A united family is important because everyone had a part to play and know it. The parent's first duty is to love and support one another. Once children are born, the main duty is to raise and nurture the children. While supporting and loving each other, the children understand they must listen to their parents in order to learn rules that will help later in life, such as schools and interacting with others. But when you talk about a united family, does it really have to do with just children alone, or probably the wife and the husband? So today I have, of course, our regular guest, Reverend Joe Adejo, who's right here in the studios. It's nice to have you in the studios, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, and he's not alone in the studios. He's not alone in the studios. I also have Pastor Patience Dodo. You're welcome to the show.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. You're welcome. All right, now let's jump straight to the business of today. All right, of course, just like as I said earlier on, that if you say family, people know it's just an English word. But what does family really mean before we talk about a united family? Reverend.
Yeah, good evening. Family consists of man, woman, and if they have children, because it's a growing industry. As it grows, you have grandfather, grandmother, and it consists all this together. That's family.
Okay.
But then there's something you call nuclear family.
Nuclear family. Mm-hmm.
Nuclear family is wife, husband, and the children.
And the children.
That's all.
All right, thank you very much, Reverend Joe Adejo. Of course, I believe, I don't want to believe that Pastor Patience will have a different definition to this. Probably she can just add to what has been said.
Yeah, like what the Reverend said. You said family.
Yes.
And in Africa, in Nigeria, when you marry into a family, you are not only married to your husband, it doesn't consist of your husband, the children, or the grandparents. It consists with the brothers, sisters, uncles, all the relations form part of a family. That's why I think Reverend Adejo said, but there's something that is called the nuclear family.
Exactly, and you just reminded me. Of course, that's why if you want to get married to somebody, they'll be like, we need the blessings of both parents, or probably the siblings. Because if you're actually getting married to a man, you're getting married to the family of that man. Thank you very much for making us understand that. Now, let's talk about a united family. What is a united family? Reverend.
Yeah, a united family is a family that have no variance in their discussions, in their team building, in their family discussions. They work together. They have a focus. They have probably a target, and they work towards it. And nobody is saying anything contrary to that vision. So they work together.
Okay, thank you very much. What are the values Let me ask, of course, Pastor, right now. What is the parent's first duty? The parent's first duty, I'm not talking about to the man, probably to the husband or the wife right about now, maybe to the children. What is their first duty to their child? My wife just gave birth like 3 months ago, so probably when you answer this question, it might actually apply to me and I might work with it. So what is the parent's first duty to their child?
Your first duty to your child is to love that child. Mm-hmm. And in loving that child, when you love a person, you want to give your all to that person. You are supposed to feed that child. You are supposed to clothe that child. You are supposed to attend to every other needs of the child, both physical and emotional needs. All right? And then you are supposed to be there for that child. These are your first duties to the child.
All right, thank you very, very much. I actually made a post on my social media, regarding this united family and all that. So somebody was like, I'm 21 years old. My parents still force me to church, up to the extent they beat me when I don't go to church. That is it proper that they should force him to do that, or probably there's another way, to make them worship with them? Reverend, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, but it's a shame that at 21, you are still being beaten or being forced to go and serve God. At this time, you're supposed to be a pastor. Mm-hmm. But then, the scripture says, train up a child the way he should go. That is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. It says, train up a child the way he should go, and when he is grown old, he will not depart from that path. So, the work that parents should do as they look out, taking care of their children, is to mentor them from the onset as they are young. Because to be candid, when a baby has grown from, once it gets to the stage of teenage, it becomes difficult for you to begin to correct. So at 21, is already a young adult. So that is not the time to begin to train a child to do what you want that child to do. You see, even common flowers, that those of you who tend flowers, the creeping one in particular, or those of us who have farmed in the village, when you want a creeping tree to go the way you want it to go, as it's growing, you plant a tree, or you plant either a stick, and then you put the growing point at it, and I tell you, naturally, it follows it all round. That is the way you want it, and it will obey. But once you allow it to grow, it's difficult to control it. So that is the same thing with our children. While they are still young, is the time to teach them what they should do.
So how can parents act as role model to their children?
How can parents act as role model to their children? Let me answer this one that Daddy Adejo just answered. At 21, why must they force you to go to church?
I don't know.
Didn't they teach you the way of the Lord? What you asked me was, what is the first responsibility of the parents? When a child has grown up to the level that he understands, even at 2, you can start telling the child about Bible stories so that the child will be excited about the things that you are telling it. Because by the time the child is growing, you should be able to have a family altar with your family, where you come together as a family to worship God, where you read the scriptures and then you explain the scriptures to the children, and the children will ask questions. Going on the same verse that Pastor and Reverend Adejo gave, the Bible says, teach the child the way to grow. If he grows up, he will not depart from it. Now, once you are teaching the child in the area of the role model, you are supposed to leave out the things that you are teaching the child. If you are telling the child, do not lie, the child should not see that, mommy or daddy are always lying. If you steal, the child would know.
Yes.
So in this case, what we say when the child is growing up is not really the most important thing. It is what we do. Walk the talk. If you want your child to love God, your child should see you loving God. If you want to teach the child that you give offering in church, your child should see you giving offering. You shouldn't say one thing and then you expect the child to do and then you do another thing. You should be able to live by the standards that you are giving the child, so that the child will say, oh, when my mommy says it or when my daddy says it, I see my daddy doing it, so I should be able to copy my daddy, or I should be able to copy my mom. Children learn more from seeing what you are doing than from what you tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, but before you go forward, let me say something. I'm sure you are very, very curious at the stage you are in now, and you want to know everything by yourself too.
Exactly.
Now, when a child is born, it is very, very important that the father and the mother be at the point of birth, so that immediately the child is ushered into the world, the first place the child goes is the chest of the mother. They drop that child. We call it bonding. Okay? Then, after removing the child from there, the child can be there for almost 30 minutes or more, as the case be. Then, when you remove that child, the father should be seated close by to carry that child for at least 30 minutes the day that child is born. But you find out that fathers are not available. Not that they travel. They are not available. Were you available when your wife delivered?
I was there. I was going up and down to make sure everything was okay.
In fact, you were in labor more than your wife.
It was terrible.
So this is how the united family begins, really. From that point, the baby will know the smell of the mother. You will know the smell of the father. And then from there, you begin to exercise love, practical love. And then, just like she said, you begin to make sure the life you want them to live, you begin to live it. Because children, at that onset, live by observation. How will you discuss with a child? How do you talk to a child? By observation, they are looking.
Exactly.
They are seeing.
Exactly.
And you don't know what is being recorded in their subconscious mind.
All right. If you check right about now, of course, we are there's a whole lot of things that are trending now: social media, technology, and science, and all that. And do you think that united family, as in, of course, if you check way back in the times of our parents, is quite different from how it is now?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's been lost, the importance of a united family presently?
What is your question, that one?
Do you think that the importance of the united family presently, the importance is being lost if we are missing it?
Because of technology.
Like, probably there's a whole lot of changes right about now. Definitely a whole lot of things are changing. An aunt of mine was actually telling me about a woman who came to one of their friends' house and saw the woman's child. I think she should be like 6 to 7, reading a novel. So he was like, I don't understand. This child is too young to read novels now. How did you teach this child how to read a novel? She was like, it is what the child see you doing that they do.
Yeah.
He was like, wow, shame on me. That was what she said. Because my child can operate Android at a very tender age. That's because she's always with the phone. You understand? So do you think the importance of a united family is lost presently?
As a result of technology.
As a result of technology and social media and all that.
So?
Do I pick it up? I don't think it's lost completely, but it's lost in some quarters. You see, what you expose your children to, they matter a lot. Among my children, I have one daughter. And at 5, there is this station that we normally tune for her. And it is from there she learned how to speak English. And she said, Daddy, I'm going to open my own television house. And then she will begin to learn from what she sees on that station and begin to copy correctly. And then when we leave there, we go to our own Bible study because we don't miss it each morning. And then, like she talked about Bible with pictures and stories, when you begin to tell children good stories, it will excite them. And when they grow up, even if there are other technologies that tend to sway people away from the right path, because of the teaching you give, she will say, to be candid, I've stayed somewhere looking at my children through the window, but they don't know. And then those who came to visit them were there. And then one of them said, my daddy doesn't want me to go to one station. Let's go there. Then my daughter said, my daddy too doesn't want us to go there, so you cannot go there. So when you teach children, they will uphold that which you want them to uphold. It is because we have taken our eyes away from our children. That is why they are going wrong way. The value has not diminished, but it has diminished in some careless homes.
Do you have anything to contribute, or I should just move on?
I have a lot to contribute based on this.
Please go on.
You see, when we're talking about the phone, we're talking about television. Those two things are the things that affect a family a lot.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about our family norms and values, there are things that you hold dear to yourself. And looking at your family, you must decide on how you want your family to be. Now, that one will direct you on what you are going. You know, when the children come home, there is a time that I tell everybody, please switch off your phone. Come to the sitting room, let's talk.
Yes.
And that is when we get to know more about each other. You know, like the white people, they do that when they are eating together in the evening. But we in Africa, we don't do that. You know, everybody carries his plate and just eats. You know, and then after they finish eating, everybody will go, most families, everybody will go to their room. People hardly talk to themselves anymore. What is the problem? They don't even watch TV again.
Yes.
Because I now discover that youngsters will download films from Netflix onto their phones. So while you are in the sitting room waiting for the children to come out, you don't see any child coming out because they are watching films on their phones. So that unity that binds a family before is no more there. You know, when I was small, I used to see, when we go to the village with my father, I used to see everybody will bring out their chair in the evening. That's how they'll be stroking each other and laughing. And there's that bond. But we have lost that because of technology. And parents must try as much as possible, you know, to bring back that unity amongst themselves. We could use the family altar, you know, to build up relationships. We could use that time to even ask people, how was your day? What happened at school? You know, for you to actually know what your children are going through. Because there are some parents that don't even care. Family altars, man, are very boring. You don't do anything to make the children want to come out for family altar. Because they know you just read the Bible and then it is your voice alone that will be heard. You won't ask the child, what did you learn from today's reading? You ask the child to contribute anything. It is the father that will talk. Even the mother will not even say anything. At the end, he will say, well, let us have prayer requests. So, family altar is boring. They are just waiting. Please let this man finish. Let us go and carry our phones.
Okay. So you are telling us that technology, social media actually constitutes a great part in family disunity.
Yes.
Okay.
Which must be controlled.
Which must be controlled
by parents.
How can it be controlled?
You don't put your eyes away from your children. You should have a time for them to sleep, a time for them to do their homework, a time for them to, I've mentioned sleep, you plan their program, and the time you give them free time to do whatever they like, that is the time you put your eye on them. That time is when they can pick their phone and begin to watch that type of films that you don't want them to watch. So you give them surprise check. Okay? You give them surprise check. If you leave them completely, they will obey their friends that have gone out of the way, and before you know it, you lose control.
There was this video that trended seriously on social media. I couldn't watch it. I just saw it for a few seconds and I had to switch off the phone. It was, I think the girl should be like
7
years.
The girl that was dancing and videotaping herself.
Is she 7? I think she was like 5, 6.
No, she
should be like 7, right? It was terrible. It was not a good sight at all to witness. What do you think caused such kind of thing? A little girl at her age, she's exposed to the extent of videoing herself dancing naked. Not just dancing naked, but erotic dance. What do you think necessitates such kind of characters and behaviors?
You see, Daddy has already said something. I was about to say something when you stopped me the other time. You see, this issue of family coming together is so important, especially during the holidays. That is when parents will leave their children with phones from morning till the next day. Now, one, every child should know that there is family time.
Yes.
What I do is that we download some good films that the family can watch together. Some of them are not really good, some of them might be bad. And then after we have finished watching that film, what we do, I learned that from my father. That's what he did for us. He will say, okay, all of you, we are not going to read the Bible today.
What did you learn?
All of you should come. At least you watch this film. What did you learn from this film?
Yeah.
What is the good thing that you learned, and what is the bad thing that you learned? Even if you are 3 years, as long as you sat down and watched that film,
you must have
you
something
say, I learned that we should not do this. I learned that we should not do that. So you see, you are teaching your children that when they watch films, they should be able to know the good thing they should take. They should be able to analyze the film, whether it is good or bad. Then secondly, leaving your child with Android, because I learned that now even children at 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, parents buy Android phones for them, so that to show them that they love them. I don't think that is love.
No.
When you leave your child from morning till evening with a phone. Well, what I do in my family is that once it is 10, anybody that is not up to the age of 21, you submit your phones to me. I keep the phone because I discovered that when you leave these phones with the children throughout the night, yes,
they don't sleep.
Throughout the night, they will not sleep. They will be chatting with their friends. It could be innocent, but then at the end of the day, when it is morning and you are waking everybody, wake up, let us pray. That's when they are sleeping. So when you are not up to 21, I take your phones from you in the night. I say sleep.
All right. Before we take this commercial break, let me quickly ask this question. What would be your advice to parents out there who are used to getting, Android phones for their children in the name of love and all of that?
She has spoken about it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not necessary at this age. Don't do it.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back. The program is still Marriage Keys on Invicta FM 98.9. We'll take a commercial break and then we'll be right back. Keep it locked on. All right, Invicta FM 98.9, and welcome back. The show, of course, is a marriage case. My name is Jeffrey Ngbede Adiku, and of course, my guest in the studio is Reverend Joe Adejo and Pastor Patience Dodo, who happens to actually be throwing more light on what we're discussing here. And just in case you're just tuning in, we're discussing on the importance of family unity. All right, now let's jump straight to my next question that I've actually wanted to ask for a long time now. There are a whole lot of family. There's a post I saw on social media, and it said the numbers of divorced couples living together is more than those separated. It's just like a post, but I read a huge meaning to it.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of people who are living together, but they are not living together. You realize that you are a family, you are a parent, you will be quarreling your wife in front of your kids. Children that are just very tender. How do you expect them to grow? You know, if you are the violent kind of person, you raise hands on your wife in front of the kids. Now, what are you teaching the kids? Because I understand that children learn from what they see. They believe that, you know, there's this saying in my place that says, if a child that is being sent by his father to go and steal, will steal with confidence.
Yes.
So if you see your parents doing something, you feel they are correct. When I was growing up, if it's 5 o'clock and you're not home, serious punishment awaits you. So sometimes we come back by 5, of course, it's okay. But 5 minutes past 5, we definitely get punished and all that. You understand? So, parents, what will you say about parents that, you know, quarrel in front of their kids? What advice will you give? Or what will you say about that particular scenario? Does it unite the family? Of course, I know it doesn't, but let's ask the question, how does it break the family?
Yeah, you didn't point anybody to say it, so let me volunteer.
Okay, yeah, please volunteer.
That's what. Okay, all right. You know, in the program I developed, which I tagged "Fan Your Love to Flame." You know, when you talk about fanning your love to flame, it is not one person that is doing it. It is wife and husband doing together, while other members of the family watch them and begin to emulate them. Now, the things that disintegrate, that makes family not to stay together, they are numerous. And I use the word quench. You know, when you quench something, you put it out of function, out of use. Quench may be used positively in some cases, because if there's fire destroying a place now, what do you need to do? You quench it, isn't it? But this particular one, I'm talking about making sure that the flame of your love, which is a picture of a united family. And I said in the book of Proverb, chapter okay, it will come, but what is there is, where no wood is, fire goeth out. Where there is no wood, fire will definitely go out. So if your fire must be on, you must get all sort of materials, inflammable ones, and gather them together for you to have a flame, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I have it in that my study, quench. If you spell it, there are 6 words there, and 6 letters, 6 number is the number of man. Right now, quench. Q is number 1. Stop quarreling. If you want your family to come together and your children to emulate you, stop quarreling, because quarrel is not a good one. Then you stop unforgiveness. Okay? When somebody offends you, your wife offends you, your husband offends you, be open so that your children will see that you can even say sorry to your husband or to your wife. Okay? Now, the next one is E. E is evil. Avoid evil speaking. Anything that is evil, avoid it. They are not the things that will make your love to unite the home. Instead, it disintegrates. It makes it to drift apart. The next one is N. N is narcissism. That one seems to be a big English. But narcissism is love of oneself. There are biblical passages to back all these ones up, but our time here is short. So if I want to back them up, I will be the only one that will speak. Then you have C. Don't be cruel. Once you are cruel in a home, even your children will run away from you. And then the last late today is hatred. When you put all these things together, they do not cause your love to flame, but rather they bring it low. And once it comes low, the home can never be united. Let me stop there so far.
Thank you very much. You've contributed greatly. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what you said, that you saw something on the social media, right? That they are living together, but they are divorced.
Number of divorced couples living together are more than those separated.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens.
When you are divorced from your spouse, all right, it means that you are just staying in the same, what it means is you are just staying in the same house.
Yes.
But you are not communicating. You are not doing anything
No
together.
congress.
You are not doing anything together, right? That means you are divorced. It means your husband or your wife is just a roommate. You sleep in the night, but you are just sharing one room, but there is nothing, no communication, no nothing. In that case, you are divorced because you are not together anymore. In the morning, she goes her own way, you go your own way. And then probably the only thing that binds the two of you together is children, if God has blessed you. When the children come, okay, is just what you talk about is children.
The children become conduits.
That's it.
All right, they live together. They are not married. Of course, they are legally married, but they are not emotionally married. So now,
Whether physically married or emotionally married, they are not married.
they are not married because they are just there.
Yeah.
There.
Now, what happens? What's the fate of their children?
The children, you know, sometimes, even in Christian homes, it happens. That's if you give the devil a foothold. You know,
Yeah.
that when you are angry sometimes, some couples will spend 2 weeks, 1
They don't
month.
talk to each
They
other.
don't talk to each other. They don't have anything to do with each other. But when they see, when the children, I'm talking about Christian homes now, when the children are together, when the family comes together, they pretend as if they are together. When visitors come, they will pretend as if they are together. But once the visitors go, they are
Back to square one.
keeping malice. You know, the children are sensitive. They know that all is not well between mommy and daddy, and it's going to affect them.
People who live in such cases, in such scenarios, do you think they don't want to work things out, or probably they enjoy being like that?
They don't enjoy being like that. You know, it's problems that come. The problem is that they don't communicate.
They don't communicate.
They don't talk to one another. So one is hot, and then he tries, maybe he or she tried to speak to her spouse, and the other one is not giving her attention because they quarreled.
In such case, what do you think the other one who wants to reunite themselves should do about it?
When I try and you don't give me face, what will I do? Is it not to pray and ask God to help us so that at least this issue will be solved?
And if you keep living in the same house and probably
Once you pray about it, God is going to help you.
He will, of course, definitely, God is going to help
He
you.
will help you. Even if the other person is not ready to talk to you, you make effort. You make effort. The Bible says we should live as far as it is in our ability. We should live in peace with all men.
Yeah.
So one person must try to break that tension. Don't give the devil a chance. It is in such times when the two of you are not talking that the devil would take advantage of that and bring more trouble to the house.
All right, there have been cases of some children who've been, of course, product of a family that are not united. Of course, there's this story about this lady on social media right now, the Chidima. Of course, I heard she's from a parents, from a family that are not united and all of that. You know, of course, she said she was going for an ushering job, and then definitely she didn't go. So in such cases, because I asked the fate of children who are in abusive homes, or probably homes whereby the parents are not in good terms with each other, I don't see anything reasonable coming out, you know, from those. Of course, some children might actually turn out well, you understand, but that there have been reports severally about children who are not really doing well with themselves, who actually ended up in one problem or the other. And if you check properly, it's because of the kind of families that they come from. You said they should turn to God and pray to God, and God will definitely answer their prayer. Of course, I understand. In such scenario, you might have asked God. Of course, I believe God will answer prayers. But if you've been in that house for a long time expecting God's prayers to be answered, God might have answered the prayer, but probably maybe the man is still not ready.
You didn't hear me. I said you continue to try.
For how long do you have to continue to try?
If you value your marriage, you try.
Okay.
You try. Because the children will pick up your vibes.
Okay.
When everything look, if I am a mother today and I enter the house and I'm angry, everywhere in the house will be quiet. The children will know all is not well. And it is the same with the father. If the father enters and there's a problem, the children will easily pick it up. And when you people continue like that, the children will not want to stay in the house. Why did your father tell you to come back by 5? Because he has a good atmosphere where when you come back, you have a mother and a father and things are working. When things are not working, the children will not want to come back to that room. You are going to lose your children. When they go to school, they are the kind of children that when they go to school, when I was in the university, there are some children that even during the long vacation, they will still stay in the hostel. They will not want to go back home.
Okay.
Why? Because things are not working at home.
All right, Reverend, what do you think is the best way to keep your family united?
Yeah.
Quickly before we open the phone lines.
Okay, actually, there is nobody that naturally like trouble. But people who fall into trouble can be a temptation. So when trouble is already surfacing in a home, it takes the king. I always call the king or the queen, the person that takes the first step to make sure things are normalized. I call that person the king. You know, sometimes this one is waiting. We call it pride. For me to go and say I'm sorry, why should I say I'm sorry? Anybody can say I am sorry. And where such word I'm sorry is missing, pride is high in such places. And when pride comes, that home will definitely fall. So what anybody should do if you are in that position is go to the person, go to your wife or go to your husband and say, look, we can't continue like this. Even whether you are guilty or not, tell your wife or husband, say, I am sorry. To be candid, I am the one that is wrong. Please forgive me. Let us move on. Don't attach it to anybody. Don't say for the sake of children. No. What if the children are not there? So you will just stay like that? Deal with yourself, wife to husband, because by the time you are together, all other things will come together.
All right, if you are together, of course, all other things will definitely be in place. It's still Marriage Keys on Victor FM 98.9. You can be part of this discussion. Of course, if you have a contribution, a question to ask, the number to call is 081 40,000 989 or 07087 800 989. I call the number again, 081 40,000 989 or 07087 800 989. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, we lost that call, but you can still try calling us back. And when you call, please endeavor to turn low the volume of your radio so we can hear you all. Hello, good evening. Okay, I think we're actually having some network issues. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's the name where you're calling from? I think...
Please put off your phone. I had this experience. Once your phone is on, even when you are talking, I can't hear.
Okay.
And sometimes they are talking, you can't hear. So off your phone. Okay. I mean your radio.
Your radio set, so you can get to hear us.
Once you get through, off it.
Of course. You can't be hearing yourself from your phone and through the radio set. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's in the way calling from?
How is work? How is family?
Fine, thank you.
I'm enjoying your program. I always listen to your program by this time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we are with you.
So I think I always enjoy, I always like to listen to any couples problem on TV and everywhere. But there's something that I want people to begin, because I always challenge whenever I'm hearing this kind of program. If people should be trying and discouraging women the way they nag sometimes, because it is nagging is the problem sometimes. Sometimes you and your wife will fight today, you might not know. Maybe you go to work and just come back. Something is bugging you when you come back home. When you come back home, she started her own. And before you know, that anger triggers time and the fight will start. So sometimes it's not like women. We love fighting our wife, or we love beating our wife. Sometimes it's due to anger.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Noted. I believe Reverend and Pastor, they are right here, and of course, they are able to answer that question. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, sir. Good
evening. What's in where calling from?
My name is Esther. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Please go on, Esther.
I heard you people talk about our children, that we should learn how to teach our children when they are small. In the case that whereby I taught them everything that I supposed to, and they reach a certain age that I cannot be able to, even if I say he should go and sleep, he will be holding that phone and he will not sleep until, if it is in the morning I wake him that we should pray, that will be the time he's sleeping. What will I do with such type of child?
How old is he? How old is your child?
26. He's 26, ma.
26?
That's not a child.
Yes.
He's not a baby.
And he's living with you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, of course.
Because I lost the father since 2001, and they have been with me.
Okay.
And that is how he has when he reached this stage. I always try my possible best to see that he's doing what is good. And sometimes even if I ask him to go to the church, he will not even go. And it's not that he has been refusing to go to church when he was small.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, they have noted it down, and as time goes by, we just take like 2 or 3 more calls and then round it all up. I believe we remember all the questions. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. What's the name where you're calling from?
This is Muganga calling from Kudenden.
Okay, please, what's your contribution?
Although my own, I listen to the program very late, so I just feel happy about this program. So I want to know, please, what time do you people continue to start this program so that I will listen?
All right, every Sunday,
7 to 8.
7 to 8.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much for being part of the program. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. What's the name where you're calling from?
Look, I'm calling from Marido.
All right, so what's your take?
You see, the topic we are treating today is a very nice topic. But the question is that our children today are under the children of the 80s. Most of the things our children learn is even outside the house. That's outside the matrimonial house. Before you know it, they will learn things that actually when they start, you're very much surprised. And coupled with what is happening in this country, you find out that parents are still feeding children of 26 years and 6 years. For goodness sake, some of them, they look frustrated, and if they don't go into what you are saying, in fact, they look more frustrated than they are. So at least what we should be doing in this country is we should try and see that actually the economy of this country improves. That will also be a final share to the control of our children. Parents are poor, the children are poor, everybody is poor, no security, nothing. So we have another problem in this country. And as the saying goes, when you are I can get water at each shower, it can water where. In fact, every day we'll continue talking about $20 tomorrow. When people at the age of 70 are still in government 6 singles and normal money. That's how we're going. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. Let's just take the last call. Okay, right. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Fayo Saiba from Maravaido.
All right, quickly your contribution. All right, thank you. I think that's the last call we'll be able to take. Reverend, you remember the first question about the first guy who called about nagging?
Nagging, yes.
Yes, about we should always preach against nagging and should lecture women on nagging and all that. Please, can you quickly just throw light on that?
I think from my counseling experience, I think nagging is a thing in some cases were developed while the woman is in the man's house. You see, sometimes the woman is telling the man, this bulb is dead. Can we change it? Maybe the woman is not even working. He has no income. And then the man says, okay, I hear. She speaks on it. It lasts almost 2 weeks and it is not done. Do you know what that woman will say is, maybe the man has returned from work and then darkness has cast within the area where the man should sit down and do something, and then not that there was no light, there's light, but the bulb is dead, and he has reported it many times. The woman will be tempted to say all the time, I've told you this bulb, let us change it. Now he's talking to herself, and that's what they refer to as nagging, isn't it? I've spoken about this thing. Okay, if you don't buy it, why don't you give me money? Let me go and buy it. You know? So, that type of thing, you are teaching your wife to nag. But, if you discuss issues and solve it, I don't think there will be room for nagging.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, that probably most times the men create the room for women to nag. What if naturally the woman is just the nagging type? What do you do about such women?
Do you think there is a natural nagging person?
I think there is.
No. If it is there, somebody developed it.
Okay. All right. Let's
but you can kill it.
You can kill it.
Yes.
So, in essence and in conclusion, please don't nag.
But let me tell you something.
Okay.
Women, most of the time, when they have anything paining them, they always want to add the sentence that is not part of the matter. And I think men don't like that. I don't know which example will I give because I have no experience. But a lot of men will come and complain. He comes, he won't tell me the real thing. He's talking something else. Even after we have solved the real thing, he's still talking. He will make a sentence and add the one that shouldn't be there.
Because he wants you to discuss that thing.
Okay, Pastor, you are a woman. I think you should have a better say in this.
Yes.
What do you say about women that nag?
You know, the issue of nagging,
yes,
just like what he said. When a woman tells you something, please, for instance, rice is about to finish, she'll start telling you a long time before the rice
finishes. A week before or two.
Rice is about to finish. Rice is about to finish. Why she does that is because she has discovered over the years that when she tells you, you say okay, but you don't do anything about it. So that she'll keep on telling you until you get fed up with it. In her own mind, she's not nagging because she wants to nag because the rice is almost finished and the family will not have anything to eat.
All right, we don't have much time again. So the other woman that talked about her 26 years old son, will anybody want to react to that quickly?
The issue of this 28 or 26-year-old son, she shouldn't force that child to go to church. Because I believe that if the foundation is okay, that's what we said here. Teach the child the way to go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. That child is not supposed to be with the mother. That child should have established himself and is on his own. But like what the last caller said, because of economic crisis, the child doesn't have anything to do. So the child will keep on punching their phones from morning till night. And they'll punch it in the wrong way because he could have been punching to look for jobs. There are different little jobs that you can do. But because they are all looking for a bigger job, something that will make them to look big, they will not want to do the little that they can do at that particular time. So you keep on punching, come for the family altar. He has reached a point where she cannot beat him. Where he will say, I will not come. Exactly. And there's nothing that she can do. What she can do is to try and talk with him and then pray.
Okay, exactly. All right, quickly, let's round the program off because time is no longer our friend. Now, families that are disunited, quickly, what would be your advice for such family that are no longer together and probably they want to be together?
If the desire is there, it will be very, very easy. All they need to do is let them bury their pride and come together and talk it over.
Okay.
So that they can fan their love to flame together.
Okay. All right, quickly.
If they want to be together, I think they should, just like what the pastor said, Reverend said. When you want to be together, make an effort to come together.
Yes.
Okay.
And when the two of you make an effort, trash the issues that pushed you apart.
All right.
So that at least you can be a family once again.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I wish we have more time. This is actually a huge topic of discussion, a topic that we can use like 5 hours to discuss. All right, quickly, if you need counseling and you really want to probably meet with Reverend Joe Adejo, the number is 08034057915, and that's 08034057915. Thank you very much, Reverend Joe Adejo, for being part of the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Patience Dodo, for being part of the show. Looking forward to have you next time.
What of my phone number, Ke?
Oh, your phone number too. Please let me have your. I want you to call your phone number, of course. Who knows? We are just saving the best for the last. Please.
08186142295.
You are still very fast. Some people complain that we are too fast when we are calling the number.
081 86142295.
All right. Just in case you need help in any aspect at all, you can reach out to them. Thank you very much. My name is Jeffrey Mbede Audible, standing on 4. Of course, Jackie at Debija. Marriage Keys makes a return next week, same time, same station. Have yourself a wonderful time.